All right. So we're starting in the Prima backend here. And in order to go ahead and work on these banners, you'll want to go to Contents here on the left-hand side, and then click on Banners here on the left. We're going to be covering 4 different kinds of banners today. The banners, strapline, advertisement bar, and the full-width slideshow. So with online ordering being really important these days, it's really important to get your site looking as good as it functions. If we're working with full-length banners, we can do several different things here. We can choose a file to be added, or we can browse an image here. Throughout this process, I'll also be flipping back to our testing site so you can see these changes as we're going along. In this case, we're advertising for some hygiene products now. If you'd like to go ahead and change this image, we can choose a new file here, and this will open up a browser window to select a file. Or we can go ahead and click View Images here, and this will give us some stock images that we can go ahead and select. We'll want to select the banner type, and from the directory here, we want to click Full Width Banners. This will give us a few options to choose from, and in this case, we'll want a blue colorway this go around, or a green one here. Let's have this green one to match. So we'll have this selected, and when we're ready to apply that, we'll click Submit. And Prima will give us a notification letting us know the file's been updated at the top there. With the banner, we can also choose whether or not to show it on the web store or to disable it, whether or not to have a URL pointed at that location, and the actions to take with that URL here. So whether or not to open that link in this tab or to open it in a new tab. So we'll just go ahead and click Save here. You can see that change has been confirmed. And we navigate to our page here in a new tab. We should see that pop up here. The next thing to cover is the strapline. Now, the strapline is a way of targeting specific text that you'd want to go ahead and direct your customers to in linking there. So if you click on strapline here, we can see that we've given a variety of options to make changes to. We can click a user-defined page to link to, the URL, and the location behavior, whether or not that URL opens here or in another tab. Additionally, we can choose whether or not to show that strapline for a single session or it should just remain throughout. The strapline text can be edited here. And in this case, we'll want to say we're wanting to have a discount on office products this time. Here. We can also choose whether or not to display this item on the web store here. And in addition, we can also choose the background color and the font color here. After we're done making all of those changes, we can go ahead and click Save. Time.
Just while you're displaying that, Andre, that removes strapline for session, will that create the X on the strap and allow the customer to remove it? That's the one we mean, isn't it?
Yes, there should be an X to remove it throughout, but you'll decide whether or not that appears.
So for example, if that was ticked, that means that the end customer would be able to just click X and they wouldn't see that strapline for the rest of the session, yeah?
That's absolutely correct, Steve.
Okay.
Clicking on that would remove it for the rest of the session. It would no longer appear after that. So if now that we've refreshed, let's refresh our homepage here.
Can I double check, is it being recorded, Andre?
Yes, it is being recorded.
Just double checking, thanks.
Mm-hmm. And we can see that our strap line is appearing here just beneath our navigation bar. So, and if you were to click that, that would close out this bar here. Next thing to look at is the banners, the advertisement bar here. So the advertisement bar is going to be coming up at the very top of your page. And it's very similar to the strapline with just slightly different features. Like the strapline, you can change the background, the font color, and you can also determine what URL behavior is going to occur, whether or not it opens to a URL, whether or not that URL opens in this tab, or it opens in a tab further away. Additionally, to showing it on the web store, you can also determine whether or not that text scrolls. So if you were to make changes, for example, in this case, we're going to advertise a discount on magnifiers here, and we'll click save and refresh the page here. We should see that scrolling around here at the top. And if we click on that one, because this one is linked to a new page, we will see that it links to our magnifiers page.
I like that.
Right. As always, you want to go ahead and click save, whether or not to save your options, and to make sure that you have it showing in the web store. As we progress through the last module here, the full web slideshow, I just want to point out that we have Chris in the chat. And if you have any additional questions on either of the three modules here, the banner, strapline, or advertise bar, you're welcome to reach out to Chris in chat, or we'll be able to answer your questions at the end of the presentation. In the full width slideshow, you've got quite a few options here. You can choose the effects that you have, whether you want it to fade in or slice down or fold, the amount of slices that takes, the general size of that it takes up, the number of columns and rows on the screen, and the speed in which that takes, whether to transition between individual slides and how long it remains on each slide. You have a number of slides here. And to select your slide, you would click choose file here. This will open up a Finder window on your computer where you can select an item. Ideally, you'll want your sizes to be around 2,000 to 2,000 by 400 pixels wide. And you can set that here. You can also determine the order of items. So for each image, you'll be able to choose whether or not you have that item active and visible, whether the order of the item, the URL for the item, whether or not that links out to another page, and that, again, the URL behavior, whether or not it opens here or it opens away. And you can also remove individual items here. So if you go ahead and click save here, and update, we can go ahead and see that on the home page here, refresh. Cool. We can see that slideshow rotate and go through. Yep.
So I believe those slides, sorry, Steve again, we can pick them up automatically from, maybe Gary can answer that if you don't, we can pick them up automatically from Ascendant and SPR now.
SPR. So SPR offer. Yeah, so if your wholesalers SPR, they offer a facility of up to, I think it's 32 different banners that we can implement, and it will randomly display 8 of those on your site on each refresh of the connection. And it's something similar. We're working with them to do feature products as well. So you can currently display feature products on your site, or you will be able to utilize the feature products that SPR are supplying. From the Ascendant point of view, it's all about ratings and reviews at the moment, and the new search and banners that are on their way.
Okay, excellent, yeah.
Okay.
Are we talking to Ascendant? I know we are talking to Ascendant, but about do they have a similar facility?
They do, but you must conclude the smart search implementation first before you can utilize it. Okay, so that's something we're in discussions now and in process now with that work. All
right, so you've got to complete that before you can actually use the banner.
Yeah, and that then comes with lots and lots of fancy things like extra marketing text, their marketing profiles as well, all their promotions, everything like that. So once you've got the first, we could go for ratings and reviews and get that in, which is in, so that will display, if you've got Ascendant and you've got your Ascendant code, then you can display the ratings and reviews on your site directly, the same as what would be displayed on the Ascendant site. So you can utilize your own. You can have your own ratings and reviews added by your own clients and utilize those that have been added by other users as well.
Excellent, thank you. Sorry, Andre, we're jumping in there, but
oh no, that's quite all right. This is actually a great point to conclude the trend for today's session, as we've covered the 4 banners. I think now is a good time to actually open up to questions if anyone has additional ones. So let me unmute everyone. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't want to hog all the questions, but I see them as great features that people should use for, particularly during COVID times and promoting certain product ranges. They seem to be something that you can keep your site looking fresh with putting, cycling them around and putting new banners on every couple of weeks or every month at least. Keeps the site very fresh, in my opinion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So everyone should be unmuted unless, all participants are unmuted. And
I've got a question. Do y'all have the SP banners that they provide?
Well, Gary can
answer. Or do we have to get them from SP?
No. We can incorporate that into the site. So they keep all their banners in a repository on their hosted servers, and we can link straight into those banners. Okay. You can have them set up on the site. The reason I'm pausing is I can't see the link on there, so it's something I can take away and feed back to the guys in the team. But yes, so that they have up to 32 banners that they store, so you don't have to capture them, and you can have it set up that they can randomly then display on your site as people connect. So if you've connected and you refresh your screen, they'll each time they'll choose another different 8 banners, and behind each of those banners is either a range of products, or there is a PDF that's linked to that. So you cover all those promotions. And then I say the next step that we're working on with them is their featured products. They have a similar amount of, well, it's probably a bit less, 25, 26 featured products, which they can change randomly. And that's the same for banners, I have to say, is a banner has a start, from SPR, has a start and end date on it. So they have complete control over those start and end dates. So if they added a new banner in today, it's available on your site on that start and end date. You don't have to worry about that bit. It's all done for you. Okay. And that's the same for the featured products as well.
And how do we go about setting those up?
I will speak to the team and get them. We'll go through and we'll release some notes for you of how that's all set up, steps you need to take. Okay.
Okay.
It's a fairly new feature, that, but yeah,
it is. Yeah,
Christina and Jeff will be wanting to know that from day one and getting some on their new store. Yeah.
I just can't see the link on here.
It looks like there aren't any other questions. I know that Patrick is taking questions online as well. So, sorry, Chris. Sorry, Chris. I've just been told it's Chris. Apologies.
I think somebody was asking.
Did I just speak over someone? Sorry, whoever that was, could you just speak up? Because I don't think we caught that.
Hey, this is Jeff. Quick question. So I see in the chat, Rusty said that Smart Search is nice, and so that's the Ascendant search feature. I can't remember what the SPR similar search feature is called.
Search Pro.
Search Pro. Okay, and you guys don't integrate with Search Pro yet, correct?
There's more, no, but we will do. It's conceptual change. You know, it's when you using the smart search in Prima allows you to smart search across multiple catalogs. What we have to implement is for both Ascendant and SPR is searching and encouraging results across their particular catalog. And then how to link into the multiple catalogs that you might also have. So clearly, if your main wholesaler is Ascendant or SPR, you want to make best use of what they're returning and all their facilities they have. But you might also want to include other catalogs that you're loading outside of those suppliers.
Right.
So we've just got to change a little bit of concept on that process. But believe me, it is coming to your site soon.
And when that happens, Gary, will it improve the search results as well? Because we're still seeing different results between like plurals and singulars.
100%. Yes, it will do.
Okay. And the timing on that soon is months, weeks?
3 months, I would say, maximum, something like that.
3 months, okay.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of work to do there because
Yeah.
we've had to do some background work even to prepare for doing that because of the integration requirements and the way that they do it as Ascendant and SPR. So it's done in a different way that we do searching, but it is complex because currently we search across all your products and we have our own weighting. And you pointed out there's some issues in there, but we can also assure you that all the time we are going to be making big improvements in our own search and keywords in particular, and weighting. Weighting is now working for individual products. It was already working for the manufacturers and wholesalers, but we also are now waiting for contracts as well. So yeah, there's a lot of work being done. In fact, that's probably the main what's going to be happening over the next few months: improvements of search and management of the keywords, because the keywords are not managed very well at the moment. They're just I wouldn't say a random set of keywords, but they're not based on the feedback we're getting. What we effectively do in Prima is we keep a record of all the searches that go on across our whole base, and that's building up all the time and gives us a lot of insight into what customers are looking for and where the searches are not working and improving them. So that's going to get a lot of focus.
Great, good to hear. Thank you.
So, Andre, I think if there's no more questions, I think we stay online for 10 minutes, and I'm quite happy to answer anything online if people have got them, or if there's any last questions, answer them now. But otherwise, over to you, Andre. Thank you very much. That was interesting stuff and very useful, in my opinion.
For sure. So thank you all for joining us for this advanced forum. If you have any additional questions, feel free to peruse our articles on prima.fresh.com or open a ticket. We'll have agents on standby to help out. Just as a heads up, we host these forums on the 2nd and 4th Friday of
yeah, that's correct.
Yep. of Fridays of every month. So just tune in a couple weeks for more helpful tips. If you have any suggestions for future forums, we definitely welcome the feedback. You can send them through our ticketing system or via email, and we'll work them to schedule, or we can follow up with you to provide some training. Hope you all have a great Friday, and we'll see you all for the next session.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye all. Thanks for turning up, and
Thanks so much.
speak next time.